$6.8 trillion. That is the size of the global wellness economy as of 2024, according to the Global Wellness Institute. Almost 4 times larger than the entire pharmaceutical industry, and somewhere inside that number, tucked between the yoga mats and the adaptogens, is a segment worth billions that does not sell you health. It sells you the feeling that you are doing something about your money. A $35 journal, a $297 course, a $12 a month app, a $2,500 retreat. Each one marketed as self-care. Each one monetizing the exact anxiety it promises to fix. The global coaching industry generated $5.34 billion in 2024. 122,974 coaches worldwide. According to the International Coaching Federation, 2025 Global Coaching Street, UDI, and here is the part that matters. Life coaching, including financial coaching, is an entirely unregulated profession in the United States. No federal license, no state license, no board, no certification requirement of any kind. Anyone can call themselves a financial wellness coach tomorrow morning and sell a course by tomorrow night, and thousands of them do. Let me start from where you might have started. You are 29 years old. You work in social media coordination in Charlotte. You make about $52,000 a year. Your rent takes 38% of your take-home. You have a little bit of credit card debt. Nothing dramatic, nothing unusual. But you have a feeling in your chest at 2 in the morning that something is not right. And you are not doing enough, and everyone around you seems to have a plan and you do not. That feeling has a market value. And the first thing the market sells you is a journal. $35 on Amazon. Hardcover, gold foil lettering that says something about abundance or intention or alignment. Inside, it is a budget tracker with affirmations printed at the top of every page. The manufacturing cost of a hardcover journal with foil stamping, ordered in bulk at a few thousand units, runs between $5 and $8 per unit, according to industry printing benchmarks. The Amazon listing price is $35. That is a 400 to 600% markup before advertising costs. You buy it because it feels like a step. It feels responsible. It feels like self-care. The journal asks you to write down your feelings about money every morning. It does not ask you to calculate your effective tax rate. It does not walk you through your 401k match. It asks how money makes you feel. And after about 3 weeks, you feel better. Not because your finances changed, because you wrote about them. And the algorithm noticed. Now the ads shift. Because you bought the journal, the algorithm knows your pain point. The next product in the sequence is a course, a money mindset course. Average price for these programs ranges from $150 for a basic self-paced module to $2,000 or more. For a signature coaching package, according to the Financial Educators Council, the mid-range sweet spot that dominates Instagram ads is right around $297. And the person selling it is not a certified financial planner, not a CPA, not a licensed advisor of any kind. They are a life coach. Maybe they completed a certification program that cost them $5,000 to $15,000. That certification is not recognized by any regulatory body. It is a credential issued by a private company to people who paid the private company. The profit margin on a digital course is between 70 and 90%. According to LearnWorlds, a course hosting platform, the cost to produce a self-paced online course, once recorded, is effectively zero per additional student. Platform hosting fees. Maybe a payment processor cut. The $297 you paid to learn about your money mindset generated somewhere between $200 and $267 in profit for the creator. And what did you receive? Before anyone flags this Demby, everything here is public record. I am not selling anything. I am showing you what is already out there. A $12 personal finance book at your public library covers the same ground. The math on compound interest does not change because someone put it in a video module with a meditation at the end. The press release calls this empowerment. But the course did something the journal could not. It introduced you to a community, a private Facebook group, or a Slack channel, or a Discord server, where other people who bought the course talk about their relationship with money. The community is warm. The community is supportive. The community is also a funnel. Because the next product in the sequence is a subscription, a financial wellness app, $12 a month, $144 a year. The wellness app market generated $848 million in revenue in 2025, according to Business of Apps. And here is the number the industry does not put on the landing page. The average 30-day retention rate for health and wellness apps is 3%. Based on 2023 benchmarks from Business of Apps, 3%. 97 out of 100 people who download these apps stop using them within a month, but the subscription keeps billing. The average user pays for 3 to 4 months of a product. They stopped opening after week 2. That is $36 to $48 for an app that sits on your home screen, doing nothing except reminding you that you once tried to fix your finances and then forgot about it. That is not a service. That is a billing model with a guilt mechanism attached. Now, zoom out. You have spent $35 on the journal, $297 on the course. Let us say 4 months of the app subscription before you cancel, $48. Total so far, $380. For that $380, you received a budget tracker with affirmations, a set of video modules that could be summarized in a single chapter, of a book you can borrow for free, and an app you used for 11 days. A couple in their early 30s, both working in education, combined income around $94,000, renting in a mid-sized city in North Carolina. They did a version of this together, bought matching journals, took the course as a couple, signed up for the app, went to couples therapy. Then the therapist mentioned something about a weekend retreat. And the retreat is where the numbers stop being funny. Wellness retreats are a $183.8 billion global market as of 2024, according to Market, U.S. The average profit margin for a wellness retreat operator is 30 to 50%, according to Squadtrip. A financial abundance retreat, the kind with a meditation component, and a manifesting workshop, and a breathwork session, and a closing ceremony, where you write a letter to your future wealthy self, costs between $2,000 and $5,000 per person for a 3-day weekend. That is $667 to $1,667 a day, to sit in a room and be told that you deserve abundance. The facilitator, again, holds no financial license. The content, again, is motivational. The transformation, again, is emotional, not mathematical. But here is the part that should genuinely unsettle you. The same feeling that drove you to buy the $35 journal is the same feeling that drives you to book the $2,500 retreat. Nothing in the sequence fixed the feeling. The sequence monetized the feeling. Each product exists to create enough temporary relief to keep you inside the funnel until the next product appears. Journal to course, course to app, app to retreat, retreat to mastermind, mastermind to private coaching. Private coaching at $150 to $600 an hour, according to industry rate surveys. The latter does not end. It is not designed to end. It is designed to convert your anxiety into recurring revenue. 87% of Americans report feeling anxious about their finances. According to a 2025 national survey by AMFM Healthcare, 69% say financial uncertainty has made them feel depressed and anxious, up 8 percentage points from 2 years prior. According to the Northwestern Mutual 2025 Planning and Progress Study, 43% say money is negatively affecting their mental health. According to a 2025 Bankrate survey, That is not a mental health crisis, that is a customer acquisition pipeline. Every percentage point of anxiety is a market segment. Every sleepless night is a conversion opportunity. And the industry knows exactly who to target. Millennials and Gen Z account for 41% of all wellness spending. Despite representing roughly 36% of the adult population, according to McKinsey's 2025 Future of Wellness Survey, McKinsey estimates that the U.S. wellness market alone exceeds $500 billion in annual consumer spending, growing 4 to 5% every year. You are not the farmer here, you are the field, and the harvest comes in quarterly. Now, I have spent the last 12 minutes building the case that this industry is a machine that feeds on anxiety, and the data supports it. But here is where I have to be honest enough to flip the table. Some of this works. For some people, the journal is the thing that gets them to sit down and look at their bank statement for the first time in 6 months. For some people, the course gives them a framework they can actually use. For some people, the community is the only place where talking about money does not feel like admitting failure. The emotional entry point is not a scam by itself. A $35 journal that gets someone to open a savings account is not a $35 waste. Behavioral finance research has shown for decades that the biggest barrier to financial action is not information, it is emotion, it is shame, it is avoidance. And if a journal or a breathwork session or a community group lowers that barrier, the barrier is lowered. That is real. The problem is not that these products exist. The problem is the margin between what they cost and what they deliver. The problem is a $297 course with a 90% profit margin that contains far more motivational filler than actionable financial content. The problem is an industry where the FTC has had to issue millions in refunds for bogus coaching programs, including more than $2 million in refunds in a single enforcement action against scammers pitching get-rich-quick kits and coaching programs. According to the FTC's June 2025 press release, and more than $2.4 million for a deceptive business coaching operation called Learn the year before. And the biggest operation the FTC shut down in this space, financial, education, services, resulted in $10.9 million in refunds to 443,048 consumers. The average refund check was about $25. 443,000 people, $25 back. That is the math. You close the tab, you sit with it for a second. Then you open Instagram, and the first ad is a woman in a white linen shirt, telling you that your relationship with money is the most important relationship in your life. The system calls this a choice. The math calls it a funnel with one entrance, and a billing cycle where the product is your discomfort. Let me walk through what the same $380 could look like if you spent it differently. A public library card is free. It gives you access to every personal finance book that the $297 course summarized. Your employer may offer a 401k match that you have not activated yet. That is additional compensation sitting on the table. The IRS has a free filing program. The CFPB published a free financial coaching guide developed with licensed professionals through its financial coaching initiative. A fee-only fiduciary financial planner will give you a one-time plan for $200 to $400, and they are legally required to act in your interest. Now, I am not telling you to do any of this, but here are the levers that exist in the system right now. A fee-only advisor versus a life coach with a Canva logo. A library book versus a $297 course. A free employer match versus a $12 a month app that 3% of users are still opening after 30 days. The information is the same, the price is not. And the only variable is who profits from your anxiety. That social media coordinator in Charlotte, 29 years old, $52,000 a year. Over the past 12 months, they spent about $1,400 on financial wellness products. The journal, 2 courses, the app, a 1-day workshop. $1,400 is roughly 2.7% of their gross income. It is also close to what they would have accumulated in a year, putting $54 every 2 weeks into a Roth IRA, earning the historical average. That is the exchange rate. $1,400 of self-care, or $1,400 of actual compound interest working in an account, with their name on it. The headline says empowerment, the receipt says extraction. Ramsey Solutions generated $300 million in revenue in 2025. And that is an operation with actual financial content, books that have been read by millions. A methodology that has helped people get out of debt. If the revenue model works that well, when the content is real, imagine the margins when the content is mostly affirmations, with a little bit of substance. $6.8 trillion. That is the wellness economy. And the slice of it that calls itself financial wellness does not need you to be well. It needs you to almost be well, almost, but not quite. Because almost is a subscription, almost is a renewal, almost is next month's charge. The question is not whether these products help. Some of them do. The question is whether the help is worth the price, or whether the price is calculated against your likelihood of noticing. The gap between what you paid and what you got. And if nobody in this entire industry is required to hold a license, and nobody is required to disclose their profit margin, and the average app loses 97% of its users in 30 days, but keeps billing, then who exactly built this system? And who exactly is it for?